Welcome back. We have James Kitchen and Michael Thiessen, both from the Liberty Coalition Canada. Thank you again, gentlemen. There's so much to discuss, such little time. So let's see what we can unpack. You know, we talk about religious accommodation, and I can say that as a recent university student, not to date myself, but I went to university a while ago. But I never used to have to get a religious accommodation letter for vaccines to attend school. If I had them, I never had to furnish evidence. This is a new thing. Is this going to be the new normal, James, for workplaces to demand disclosure of your health status? And if you don't, will religious accommodations continually be trampled on? Are they being upheld? What's going on there?
I think it will become the new normal, unless those with the authority to do something about it decide to do something about it. That's what it'll really come down to. We're going to have, I think, the next year or two of a lot of litigation, both at the human rights tribunals and at the courts and at the disciplinary tribunals that manage professionals. All these hearings are ongoing. A lot of them are just starting. I'm not the only one doing this. There's a number of other lawyers doing it. I think over the next 2 years, you're going to see whether or not the people with authority in these positions that make decisions, they're going to decide that. They're going to decide the law for the country. That's kind of how it works in our system, for better or for worse. And it's going to be up to them, right? I mean, to me, it's obvious. Whether we're talking about what the law was prior to COVID, whether we're talking about human decency, whether we're talking about science and facts about how, this stuff doesn't work, whatever we're talking about, to me, the answer is obvious. But to these people in these positions, for the most part, they are, for lack of a better word, they're woke. And the woke thing to do is to uphold these restrictions, uphold these conditions, uphold this segregation and this discrimination, and to defer to the so-called experts, whoever they may be, and to just let everybody get away with it. That's been the woke thing to do so far. And if that continues, then yes, this is going to become the new norm. And whether it's this vaccine or a different one, and whatever Christian issue it is, where Christians don't want to go along with the tyranny of society, you're gonna see this segregation and discrimination and second class citizen stuff continue in the workplace and in the universities. So
we as a society have become so progressive that now we are actually regressive. That's what I read from your statement there.
Yes,
it's astounding. Michael, are you surprised that we've come this far? I like to be hopeful and have optimism. Do you foresee things changing in the near future?
You may not want to have asked me that question if we want to remain hopeful, Tanya. I'm with James. I'm only hopeful if there is a revival in this country of individuals. James and I have been talking about this from day one. It is the citizens of this country that are responsible for the outcomes of this country. And so far, it is not a hopeful scenario. Many Canadians are proving themselves to be socialists or willing to go along with a socialist agenda just to, get along, just put up to get along. The hope would come if the citizenry were to awaken and say to itself, no, our current worldview, our current choices, our current desire to have all things handed to us on a platter in return for our freedom is not a good scenario. And so
now, didn't the Freedom Convoy, didn't those truckers, they made a point, and it was a loud point, and a lot of people joined in. Millions of Canadians supported that, and mandates were lifted. Did that not do the job? Is that not good enough?
The truckers did a fantastic job, and I would never say that their job was not good enough. I would say that because there's been such a hard censorship in our media, and because Canadians are still passive towards the socialism, that it's not good enough yet. And we're going to see in the coming months, as James has said, as more of the facts come out and these things are litigated in court, I hope that Canadians will continue to wake up in the right way. How do we deal with woke versus awake type of analogies? So I hope people become less woke and more awake. And that's a possibility with folks like us speaking out and really trying to help people understand the situation.
Okay, and if people want more information on your organization, where can they go, Michael?
libertycoalitioncanada.com. They have all of our legal updates on the cases that James is taking. We have a number of different podcasts that they can subscribe to there, and stay connected through email by subscribing on our website. So
Okay,
thanks
gentlemen,
for asking,
thank you.
Tanya.
Thank you so much for joining me today. Appreciate it.